Welcome, Internet, to the Play Some Video Games podcast, also known as the PSVG cast. Y'all, I'm back. It feels good to hear that music.
Elaine's here.
I'm here. What's
wow.
good? You missed me. You missed
Definitely.
me. Yeah, you did.
Lost
Donnie's
hope.
here. Delvin's
I'm
here.
here.
Don't lose hope. I just needed to get my life in order and start a new job and all kinds of other shit. So, life's been good, but busy. Gentlemen.
It's good stuff.
Sirs. I've heard that the cats need herding. I came back. So
usually I have something witty to say or something funny to say, but nah, I'm just happy you're back.
Oh, you're
good.
so sweet. Dev sent me.
And the Dev isn't on the show.
That's not nice.
Yeah,
that's a win-win for Delvin.
Oh, that's not right. That's not right. Let me just shift my camera a little bit. There we go. There we go. Hey, what's up, Internet? Guys, I missed you and your bright, smiling faces.
The show's not quite the same without you, Elaine.
I know. I missed you guys too.
Yeah,
and
it
I missed
becomes a
hearing that
sausage
music.
fest.
Gross. Ew.
Nope. Why do you got to go there?
Oh,
that's what it becomes.
Look, I gotta tell you, there are 4 kids in my house and 3 of them are boys. I hear way more testicle and penis talk already than I need in a day. It's a lot of.
The show becomes an hour and a half of Dev and Donnie arguing, then 30 minutes of arguing at me. It was just in the show.
Okay. All right. Well, we're not going to do that today. We're going to have fun today.
Not wrong.
We're gonna have fun and talk about video games, right? Do y'all still play video games, or do you just not do that?
I do. I don't know what these other
once in a while
hobos are doing, but definitely
on occasion.
Every once in a while. You know how it goes. Every once in a while. Delvin, what are you playing? Why don't we start with you, since you always end up going last and I feel bad. So
yeah, I'm playing a game that I guarantee nobody else is playing here. So
yes,
Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song.
That's an interesting choice.
That's the good thing about me being here. I got to play something different than everybody else.
Diversity.
And I got to tell you, this game is not for everybody. This game might not be for anybody. It's a fascinating game.
Do you like it? Do you like it?
I don't know. That's the thing.
Okay.
I don't know if I do.
Okay.
Let me explain what this game is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a narrative-based tabletop RPG.
Okay.
With no fighting.
Okay.
Fantastic.
I'm still with you. I'm still interested.
Yeah.
I love visual novel games. I like that crap. So.
It's not a visual novel. Think of it's more like RPG. It's RPG. There's the RPG elements of it. You have to increase the levels of talking and conversation and deduction. So think more of the lines of the Sherlock Holmes games.
Okay. Or like Nancy Drew? Those games? Those were puzzle solving. Do we get to solve puzzles?
It's puzzles. It's like the modern Sherlock Holmes games they have now, where you have to interview people and stuff like that and solve small puzzles. Very similar to that. It's made by, I think it's called Big Bad Wolf, which I thought was like an offshoot of the, Telltale people, but it's not. They made the game to cancel a while back.
Okay.
Which is another type of Telltale type game. And that's what this game essentially is. So if anybody ever heard of Vampire the Masquerade, this is a popular series. I think it's a pen and paper RPG series. Yeah.
There was another game too, and they're making a sequel to that, but that's not out yet. And I keep getting confused because these little games keep coming out in between. Like they released Coteries of New York, and now this one, and I'm like, are any of these,
and they have another one, which is it's like a battle royale type game. I want to say it is.
Okay, sure.
It's called Bloodline. Yeah, this one is a complete story-based game where you have to. Something, I don't want to spoil the plot of it. It's just in case people want to play it, but
that's the only reason to play it, right? Like the plot.
Yeah, it's literally the plot. There's no fighting in the game. All the fighting, I think, is done through CGI, which I haven't got to yet. I'm still deducing stuff and find out what's going on. Something happened with the vampire community, and you get to play it as 3 different characters and have to figure out what's going on and how did this happen.
Okay, but if there isn't a scene. If there's no scene in a club where it starts raining blood from sprinklers, I'm not in. I want Blade vampires.
I'm quite sure something like this comes up because they're all dressed like they're straight out of Blade. They all dressed like that. they have like a vampire council that you have to go talk to, and they're telling you like, hey, you have to figure out what's going on here. And you have 3 characters that you have to control, which one is like the detective, one is like the big bouncer mercenary one, and one is the person who's been the friend of the person who's been accused of the act. So you have to go through these characters and tell this story, and the things that you do in the story affects what happens to the other characters, much like a Telltale game.
Sure. Is this on Switch? Please tell me this is on Switch.
No.
Is this on PC only? Come on. Where's my...
It's on PS5, PS4, and I think PC. That's it.
Man, where's my Stream Deck when I need it? Because I still don't have it yet.
I will say this. Don't get this game yet until it's cheap, which I think it will be soon.
It'll be cheap. Yeah, I'll catch it on a Steam sale. But so
yeah, because
yeah. I mean, it's going to be just a story.
It's interesting.
So yeah. Okay.
It's a little more interesting than a visual novel because there's things you do. You have to go in the rooms and search and read like books and things like that to find out what's going on, find clues, and deduce what's going on. And then they have these things like you get RPG skill points. Exactly. You get RPG skill points in which you have to use them to like either you can be more assertive, more aggressive, more conniving, and things like that. Based on the skills you pick, you can do certain abilities that kind of affect the conversation.
I'm captivated.
I want to play. it. I love games like this. Like I know that that's not a popular opinion, but I think they're if the story is well written, I think that they're fun. So hey.
So far, it's well written. I will say that.
I'll take that. I love vampire stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
if you like vampire stuff, you probably like it.
The girlfriend loves vampire stuff. Maybe I'll just give this to her. So be like, play this.
Tell
me about it. Yeah, exactly. Is that all that you've been sparkly vampires? Don't put sparkly vampires in my chat. I have a story about that. I don't know if I've told this story on this podcast. My ex-husband and I sat down to watch the first Twilight movie, and he knew it was vampires.
I'm sorry.
He didn't know about the sparkly vampires. So we put it in, and it goes through, and it gets to the part where he sparkles in the sun, and Don just says nothing. He gets up, he ejects the disc, puts it in the Netflix envelope, and puts it back outside, then walks out of the room. He said not a word to me. And I was like, you know what? I respect that choice because that's bad. It's bad.
I imagine that's what ended this relationship. It's like, this is the movie she brings to me.
That was the beginning of the end.
that was the moment where we were like, this is not going to work out.
Divorce, we're done. No, I don't like the vampires either. That was not the killer. That's cool.
Oh, no, he was mad that you had the audacity to even try.
Yeah, that was
like,
how
it was dare her?
How dare she
bring this shit into our home?
This filth. I'm surprised he didn't set the damn thing on fire. Like, just be like, nah, nope. But he did not.
We're not gonna allow anybody else to rent this trash.
Those are not sparkly vampires. I don't want that. I want Blade, club dancing, and raining blood vampires.
Now we're talking John Carpenter's vampires.
Yeah.
I
want
real vampires.
Vampires.
The Lost Boys.
I liked The Lost Boys.
I love that movie.
Me too.
I love that movie so much.
And it's cheesy as hell, so I like it kind of
it's real
in
dumb.
spite of itself, you know what I mean? But
real
I love it. Is that all you've been doing, Delvin? Just one
That's it. I have no life. That's it.
Man,
apparently.
I got a lot of kids in this house, so I know that feeling. I'm just saying. Donnie, what about you? How many millions of video games are you playing at the same time?
I beat Far Cry 5.
Again,
yeah.
Yes.
I left this podcast for a couple months and you went back to Far Cry 5. Do you need
I beat it in like a week and a half.
Damn, dude.
I beat it before Dev said Dev told us when I posted my roll credit screen, Dev said I haven't even encountered a boss yet.
Oh, he said then he said he shortly after he did, but no, maybe he hadn't.
I think he got to John Seed,
Are you that bored with the multitude of video games launching right now that you have to replay Far Cry 5?
That's a really great segue because in finishing Far Cry 5, I did kind of juggle around things I didn't know really where I wanted to go next.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of things that I kind of want to play, but nothing that's like
calling to you,
making me want to play it.
I can understand that.
I hung out on stream with Sean and his group while they were playing Halo or whatever. I don't even know what they were playing. I didn't pay no attention. I'm just hanging out. And I just cycled through games. I was like, I don't know what I want to play. I played some WWE 2K. I got in the mood, or at least I felt like I was in the mood to play Doom. But I didn't have Doom or Doom Eternal installed on my PC. So I kicked off the downloads for those. And then in between waiting for those, a while back I picked up this FPS shooter bundle on Fanatical.
Yeah.
And there was like 13 Doom Quake clones in there. So I spun up one of those by the name of Hellbound. And I dug that for about 2 or 3 hours. It's like old school Doom. Yeah,
I've heard of that one too.
It's retro inspired Doom, but it plays fast and smooth and fun. And you go around and you pick up yellow keys to open yellow doors and purple keys to open purple doors and kill all the hellbound spirits and all that.
It's Doom. AF,
yeah.
If you will.
Yeah, yep. I played it for a couple. I don't think I'm going to play it again. Then I downloaded and started Guardians of the Galaxy.
That game is good.
I've got to say I'm enjoying it a little bit. Yeah.
I was impressed by that game. I got to go back and actually finish it because it came out.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I can't be the only person that ever thinks that the main character sounds like Chris Jericho.
I didn't make that association, but I didn't hear Chris Jericho talk.
I think it's the way he speaks, like more like the cadence than the actual. But like every time I hear him speak, especially when it's off screen, and maybe it's because I've listened to Jericho's podcast for so long, I just keep hearing Chris Jericho speaking, and it's really throwing me off.
Maybe you'll like come out of it. I didn't have this association, so I didn't.
It's like I've got Guardians of the Galaxy with Chris Jericho. I mean, I'm not against it. Doesn't sound awful. Kind of fits. But yeah, I played it for, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours. Like, I'm not very long into it, I don't think. 2.5 hours. I played it for 2.5 hours. Thank you, Steam. And I'm enjoying the banter, which is what everybody always brings up and talk about. So I can agree with that. The gameplay is kind of like it's pretty kind of a standard, little group affair. That's pretty good so far. Yeah. So I'm not like super invested into the story yet. I have no idea how long this game is or how long it gets into something like that. So I can't really say where I'm going to go from here.
Yeah, 10 to 15 hours. Is
really?
That's not that long.
It moves if you need it to. Like I haven't finished it, but I always go to how long to beat just to see what I'm getting into, and it's like in that 10 to 15 hours.
That's interesting because I would expect the story to have been a little further along 2 hours in than if it's not like super long.
It was a slowish ramp in the beginning to set everything up, if I remember correctly, because that's about probably where I stopped just because of timing. So, and it depends, how much were you meandering and looking around environments? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you tend to do that more. So you stretch that beginning part of the game out longer than I do usually.
Slight spoiler: the story picks up when you go to nowhere.
Okay,
that's correct.
So once you get there, then it picks up a lot more.
Okay, so at least play to there.
Yes.
Okay.
Give it time. It's also good.
I got nothing else to play. So
there it is. I also don't have this problem.
Let me add this fact. When you get to nowhere, make sure you go to the museum.
Okay.
Because you can miss it.
There's
a lot of cool stuff there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I'm not like in a hurry to drop it or anything like that. There are a couple. There's part of me wants to go back to. I went and replayed Wolfenstein. I'm thinking about going back and playing Wolfenstein 2.
They also did some patching to that. The Youngblood, was that the one with the 2 characters?
I don't think I'm ever going to go back to that one.
I know that they fixed.
I did not like that one.
Yeah, I heard they fixed it.
I liked it. I had problems with the.
I thought the writing
bullet sponge. I didn't have. It's not the best, but hey.
Yeah, the girls were bad.
Yeah. I liked that story. I finished.
That's the one I didn't finish.
I liked that story. I liked the twist. I enjoyed it. But so is that it for you, Donnie? Just meandering through games?
Yeah, I kind of want to play. Like I said, I want to play Doom. That would be the one that I'd want to drop it for. And I also downloaded a couple of Darksiders games, including Genesis. I dropped it on Switch because it sucked on Switch.
It plays like crap on Switch. It's a good game outside of Switch. Good. And Darksiders 3 is really fun too. I enjoyed Darksiders 3 a good deal.
Everybody I know that likes Darksiders loves Darksiders 3 except for me.
I liked it.
But I love
which one is 3? 3 is the one with
Fury. Like you play as Fury, and it's
I like that one. That was
Souls.
Good.
It's like Souls adjacent. It's still much easier, but it's it's there. So.
I liked Darksiders 2 the most. I like Darksiders. I did not
good.
like 3. I bought 3's collector's edition. I was so excited.
Ooh,
Burned.
Ouch! That was expensive.
Burned.
That was a pricey collector's edition.
Sorry,
it's sold on eBay pretty quick.
Oh right, I forgot that you do that.
Yeah, but outside of that, that's it. I haven't touched anything else, so I'm looking forward to playing a little more Guardians this weekend, and if it sticks with me, maybe I'll play it to the end, and if not, I'll jump to Doom or something else.
You should play Doom again. Doom's real good.
I'm kind of in the mood.
Doom is good. Doom.
I got these headphones, Elaine, in your absence.
Let me see your headphones.
They're these Razer headphones.
Oh, did you get the ones that have the feedback? Like
they rumble and stuff.
Yep,
and
the
like,
vibration ones. Yep.
Doom with all the metal and shooting and everything just sounds
that sounds like it'd be fun. Mm-hmm.
For these. So
I like
kind of jonesing for it.
Nice. I in Deb's absence, I will talk about Horizon. I am literally on the last boss fight of that game, and it just got late last night, and I didn't want to beat my head against it, so I'm going to finish that game after this, basically, in 15 minutes. I didn't do most of the side stuff. Like, I just kind of wanted to see where the story went because it was compelling really quick. I was surprised. Like, I thought after the first game, they wouldn't be able to make me interested in the story again because they kind of capped it after that first game. And I thought it was done. And so with the second game, I was like, oh, what are they going to do to like extend? And they did a good job. And they did a really good job of unpacking that story throughout that game. So I'm really pleased. Aloy is like 40 million times sassier in this game. And I love her. I love her. So that's been really good. I don't know what to play next. I might play Elden Ring next. I might just take
Ooh.
I like Souls games.
It's banned from being talked about on this podcast.
Why?
We made that rule.
Why?
You weren't here.
Only if I talk about the Elden Ring.
Well, I'm here and making new rules.
That's not how it works.
Oh, honey, I'm a woman. That's exactly
how it works.
That's exactly how it works with women. Sorry.
We have rules.
I don't make the rules.
This is a society.
There are 2 women in my house.
They don't follow.
We don't follow the rules. It's a nightmare.
They have diplomatic immunity.
Yeah, Delvin, speaking of, how's Elden Ring going?
I haven't played it this week.
Of course not.
Because I don't want to.
I'm committed to asking Delvin how his Elden Ring is going every week this year.
I'm fine with that. I was watching movies.
Oh my God.
Amazon finally sent me my X copy, so I'll probably watch that tomorrow.
And so I hope you like it. The last big movie that I think I recommended to people was The Strangers, and I don't think they liked it. I don't think most people
The
like
Strangers,
that
I love that movie. I love that movie. The Strangers
that
awesome.
wasn't the last one. That was like the big one, the big new one. I've watched, like I've went hard for Host and obviously like all the Ari Aster films. I went real hard for those. So I think a lot of
those
people,
are very good. They're
like
good.
Midsummer and
Midsummer is horrifying.
Love those are easy recommendations. Like X isn't for everyone, but X is clearly for me. I love that movie.
I have been digging through like TV instead of movies, so I need to catch up on The Boys because the new season of that comes out, and I've never watched the other 2 seasons. And I've watched a few episodes of the first season, and then that Stranger Things is dropping soon. So
that's true.
I'm like,
I started Yellowstone.
I've heard that's excellent. My girlfriend's mom loves the hell out of it.
I'm hooked.
She keeps trying to get me to play it.
It's like it's like Sons of Anarchy, but with cowboys.
I
just
like it.
Big like Greek tragic drama.
Yeah.
With like sprinkled in like smut along the way.
Yeah, I'm in. Let's do it.
Good stuff.
What?
Good stuff.
Also, the only other thing I've been doing, I bought a car. Okay. I'm gonna talk about this briefly because I know Donnie has put so much.
Everybody buying cars.
Bought a car.
We have it. We talked one car talk episode. That was months ago.
So I bought an electric vehicle. I bought a Tesla. I bought a used Tesla because new Teslas are very expensive and you have to wait for like a year.
You should have just told him it was new. You just got it like that. Why you gotta let them in like that? Don't just block it out.
But I'm excited. So we should have it in like a week or 2. And
nice.
I'm really pumped. We test drove one, and these cars all have regenerative braking, right? So instead of pressing the brake pedal, you release the accelerator, and it's weird to just let off the pedals and be stopped.
Just coast.
And then it'll eventually stop the vehicle, and you just don't have to press the brake like under certain settings. It's wild, and it's got a crap load of pickup. I was not expecting that thing to haul ass like it does.
That's what Coach Mo tells me, and like whatever their supercar is, and it'll beat a Challenger off the line in a quarter mile.
It's like quiet as hell, and like we were test driving it, so Angel was like, "You drive it first. I'm nervous." And I was like, "Okay." So I drive it first, and I park in a back parking lot, and we swap spots. And she gets on a back road and just guns the damn thing. She's like, "Oh, this is fast." I'm like, "Jesus, oh nice. Lord, this woman's gonna kill me." She's gonna kill me. So we're gonna have that maybe next week or the week after. So we'll see. We can talk more about it then once I get that in my paws.
Well, I can give some unfortunate truth about my car as well.
Oh, all right.
I had to sell my Steam Deck.
Why?
Oh, that sucks.
I didn't want to.
What happened, man?
My car that I bought, my muscle car that I bought, is turning out to be far more expensive than even I anticipated.
What?
I knew I was going to put money into it, and I didn't have to sell it, but it was easy money. And it was just sitting there. The temptation was too strong. So I went ahead and let it go. I also, I mean, I did have some issues with it, but that had nothing to do with why I sold it. I didn't want anybody to give that. I honestly didn't even want to say it because the people that make the jokes about my flipping tendencies, but
right now, but
it had nothing to do with that really. It's just my Ventura has been in the shop for weeks, and it seems like every layer that we pull out of it, there's something else. Here's another something else we've got to do, and another something else we've got to do, and then I really want to paint it. Paint's going to cost a lot.
Yeah,
paint's a lot. Like as much as I paid for the car a lot.
Yep, it's not cheap.
Yeah, so trying to finance it and figure it out. That's where I'm at. So,
man, I am like waiting with bated breath for a Steam Deck. I don't have mine yet. I'm waiting for my order thing. I mean, I bought a car, so that was expensive.
Sure.
But it's also about to save me. Like, check it out. I did the math on my gas usage in New Jersey at $4.50 a gallon. Let's say we're talking $400 to $500 a month with how much I drive.
That's how much you're driving. Wow.
So
that's a ton.
I drive 50 miles a day back and forth to work. Angel drives 150 miles once a week round trip to drop her kids off at their dad.
Wow.
So when you start adding that up, and we're going to be pushing $6 a gallon in the next couple of months, moments, breaths. It made sense to do the EV, and I just saved myself. Like my Tahoe needs brakes. I just got one set done, the rears. But I can wait until fall if I drive the same amount for the fronts. And now I'm like, I could wait a year. We're just going to drive. The Tahoe is paid for, and it's got that roof tent on it. We're only going to drive that when we go camping. That's like, so I'm done, man. I'm done with gas. It's too freaking expensive. So
meanwhile, I'm buying cars from the 70s.
Yeah, you're out of your damn mind. I'm done. I said
complete gas guzzlers.
I'm buying the EV, and tomorrow I have a meeting at noon to discuss solar panels for my house to offset the whole of my electric costs, including the car. I'm done. I'm off the freaking gas grid if I can.
Melissa loves the Prius we got too. She's been digging it.
Full electric or is it a hybrid?
No, it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid.
Hybrids are good if you just commute. Like it's short commutes. Mine is too long to make it worth it. I would still be.
She likes it so much. I'm pretty convinced. Like this might be. We may never get her another car. Like we may just get her another Prius. Like she loves it. She really loves it. I'm kind of surprised with how much she's into it.
Yeah. Yeah. I found out that I get free EV charging at like work. So that's even better. So there's like lots of compelling reasons to not use gas anymore. So that's kind of where we're at. But that's been me. I've been playing games, and then
you can join us in the Car Talk channel.
Yeah,
and we can't wait to see it when it pulls in the driveway.
I'm excited about it. So,
at this point, I'm hoping to maybe have my Ventura back. AC's been put on hold because there are none. They're back ordered like 20. They're back ordered like 20 weeks, so I'm not gonna have air conditioning this summer. It needs new
in the car or the house.
No, the car, the Ventura.
God. Okay.
I'm trying to put a vintage air conditioning system in the car, and they're back ordered on parts. But new header, new carburetor, new power steering.
What are you in for? Like $5,000?
I wish
for just that stuff. That stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Disc brakes. The back end had a lot of Bondo in it. Had to be cut off and re-welded. New bumpers, new headliner. Got a brand new seat, original seat, which I'm actually excited about. It's a different color. I'll have to get that reupholstered, but I'm going to just put a seat cover on it for now. New odometer, new glass, new shifter, new radio, retro radio, and the back window and the front window have to come out. The windshield and the rear window have to come out because they leak, because the window tracks are rusted. So the window tracks have to be rebuilt. New glass.
How much did you pay for this car, dude?
10.
That's ridiculous.
It's not too bad. It's not. I'm still not
It's
too
ridiculous
bad.
that you're going to be putting this much money into it. You know what I mean? Like,
Like,
I guess you expected. What year is it? Remind
I
me.
do expect it's a 73 Pontiac Ventura Sprint. Like they're souped up model. It's a Nova with a Pontiac emblem on the front of it. But I really like it. It's got like the Pontiac Ventura is a Nova, but basically with like a Firebird grill on the front.
Okay.
And then I want to paint it, and I've got 3 colors picked out. And at this point, I'm just kind of shopping around. I found one person that I'm pretty sure I'm going to take it to. This old man in North Georgia, about 2 hours from here.
That's what you do. Yeah.
He has his own like paint shop on his property. He has like this farm.
He probably
has
does
these
a
jobs.
Shed. Yep.
And he does them on his free time. And he's got a few cars in line. He told me that he'll do it front to back, full body, like rip the whole thing down and paint the whole thing.
5K? Or 10K?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
But he said it might take him 6 weeks.
So you don't need it. It's not your everyday.
I don't.
So who cares? You know what?
Like,
do it. Save the money.
It's probably going to take 4 or 5 weeks before all this work is done, and then 6 weeks to get it painted. Like, I may not drive it this summer.
Yeah, but hear me out. If you don't have AC and you live where you live,
that's a good point.
You want to drive it in September and October anyway. That's the season I like to drive my motorcycle.
My wife's in the chat.
I know. I saw your wife in the chat, and I was like, "Oh, somebody in trouble."
So, it's. I'm excited because I like doing it. Like I'm playing real life Forza. I'm having so much fun, but it looks like all I want to do is just drive it, like just hit the road and just go as fast as I can somewhere.
I've been thinking this about the motorcycle because I finally bought my bike is a Harley 17 Street Bob. I put the passenger seat on it. It's got a little seat, and she wants to ride with me. But she was like, "Can we get what's called a sissy bar?" Even though I freaking hate that name, but it's a backrest bar. I hate that name. Right? She hates that name too. Whenever I use that name, she gets so mad. But I bought the sissy bar from like a veteran who makes them by hand. Like it's real nice, 24-inch with a little back pad. So I need to get that on, and I want to get that on like ASAP. And I go to do it this weekend. I'm like, why don't I have a star bit for my damn drill? Because the bolts on my bike to pull off the bolts that need to mount to it, star bit. I'm like, come on, man. So I just want to be out on that bike. Twist and lean. You know what I mean? Like so bad right now. So we're gonna. Do
you have like where do you ride? Do you have like boardwalk, coastline? Like what are you doing? Like what do you ride in Jersey?
I'm inland, but if I go across the state towards where my parents live, so I'll cruise down the highway and then I can hit the coastline if I want to.
Okay.
There's lots of Pennsylvania to ride into.
Okay.
If I go west.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I don't know. I don't typically know Jersey geography, but I imagine most of it's developed. So you're not like riding through like mountains or anything, right?
Right. I'm right outside of Philly. So it's pretty dense where I live. But what we're talking about doing is getting a little trailer that's big enough for the motorcycle, remounting the roof tent to that trailer, sticking that on a car, and going to the mountains, essentially camping, and then riding the motorcycle through.
I never rode a motorcycle. I honestly don't think my hands could ever take it. I've always wanted to, but my dad was really big into Harleys, and he used to always go to North Georgia and just ride around. He would just take off for the weekend. So
I like the Adirondack Mountain region of like upstate New York. And that's like really twisty, and you don't have to feel like I like to cruise. I'm not here to go fast. I don't own a sport bike. I want to just like feet up, relax, and just twist. And that's what I want to do. So that's probably what we're going to do.
That's me, man. I just want to roll the windows down, turn the music up, and
she
just go.
Teases me because that's how I like to ride the car when no one's with me. I like roll all the windows down,
like
a puppy, and stick my face out the window.
Same. Big. See,
yeah, dude.
See, Empire energy. You're in trouble, Calvin.
I miss you. He loves this. He would do the same thing, but he lives in Florida, so the gators and the heat could get him at any moment.
That's true.
It's like 90 degrees out here.
The meth addicts.
Dude, I'm sweating just thinking about Florida right now.
Yeah,
it's gross.
And I can't buy a car because I have like 4. So it's like
we're about to have 4 vehicles parked outside this little ass house. People are going to think we're accumulating more children or something. There's already so many of them. So
yeah, I have 4 vehicles, all inherited to me, and I'm not allowed to get rid of any of them. So I'm like, oh well.
Yeah.
At least I don't have to pay nothing on them.
Not getting rid
They're
of
all paid for, so I'm like, whatever.
That's kind of everything but the new one. I get a credit score boost off this new car because I don't have any debt right now. That's like monthly, so whatever. I'm saving the environment or something. Who cares? It's cool. So my car is going to be able to like drive itself. I'm into
She's
it.
making up for me.
Yeah, you the gas guzzlers of all gas guzzlers.
Actively heating up the ozone layer.
Thank you. Keep it down south where it belongs. Keep it down in America's crotch, please. That's just all right. I think that's all the games we're playing. We'll put games in loose quotation marks. I'll probably have more to talk about that way next podcast I'm on. So once I finish Horizon and play like literally anything else, because I've been obsessed with it.
Yeah, you and everybody else have been playing the game all year.
It's
a
big.
Game that never ends.
It's big, and I kept like mixing other games in with it. Yeah, it does feel like it never ends. But I kept being like, I'll come back to it. I'm going to play some Tunic. I'll come back to it. I'm going to play. So, you know.
How'd you like Tunic?
I need to go back and finish it. I love Tunic.
Okay.
It's adorable. It's hard, but there are modes to set.
It's much harder than Death's Door, isn't it?
It is harder than Death's Door.
That's what's keeping me from trying it. I love it.
There's a no fail mode. There's a God mode. There's modes. There's accessibility options for you. There's stuff to make it easier. You should totally check it out. It's
Makes
adorable.
Me feel like less of a man.
Don't bring your toxic masculinity on my podcast. What is
maybe
this?
Fuck
that. I'll put it on baby mode.
Put it on baby mode to play the game.
Mode for me.
I'm not here to
fuck that.
Put your bits away. Calm yourself down.
Maybe.
Like
maybe
what is happening?
I want to play Sniper Elite though. I'm excited.
I've heard good things about that.
Looks good.
Looks good.
Is that coming to
really
Game Pass? What's happening?
Yes.
Day one on Game Pass.
Hey Donnie, speaking of Game Pass, can you tell me what's going on in the news, or like, do you not do that?
We can. We have new news bumpers, but I couldn't pass the opportunity to play this one today.
Do my eyes deceive me? I'm watching Shaq live. Elaine's fucking back after 1,000,000 years. I got my popcorn. It's 11 p.m., but it doesn't fucking matter. And right now it's not time for Shaq. It's time for PSVG, and it's time for the news. So bring it home, Donnie. Foot stuff. Woo! TPR signing off.
Boom.
I haven't heard that one yet. I believe my girlfriend is watching this show right now. I don't know if she still has it on, but I'm going to have to be like foot stuff when she comes down here.
I love the heel turn. Oh my God, it's Shaq. Oh my God, it's Elaine. TPR, if you don't watch it, you couldn't see it because she's off scron. She was all into it.
I was excited.
Waving and shaking. And then he's like, but it doesn't matter. Just like The Rock. It doesn't matter.
I love it so much. That was good stuff. I appreciate the foot stuff reference in there. That was, yo, Donnie, I need that clip. Can you send me that clip?
Yeah,
I'm gonna need that clip.
Yep, we can do that.
Need that clip. All right, tell me about the news. Let's do this.
Got a lot of news. Capcom has suggested during new investor relations in their Q&A that they are looking to revive some of its dormant game series. They're releasing Pragmata. There's a new IP, their first IP, new IP in a decade. It's due out next year. Dragon's Dogma got an anniversary site, which has a lot of people thinking they got some sort of remaster re-release thing?
They've already done that sequel. Come on.
Well, that's the Switch thing. You're right.
Come on, give us a sequel for that freaking great game. What are you doing?
What IP would you like to see them revive?
I'm trying to think what's been dead for long enough. Like they brought Resident Evil back. Oh, Lost Planet would be dope. I love Lost Planet.
The one that everybody wants, the one that everybody's going nuts over, the one that was on the PlayStation Plus store today.
The Dino Crisis?
Dino Crisis.
Yeah. I like Dino Crisis.
I do too. I would have liked to see I would like to see Parasite Eve get that kind of energy.
That's my favorite.
That's the one.
That's like a grudge of mine.
That's one of my favorite games. Like that first game is up there for me. It's a favorite PlayStation era game. Parasite Eve.
Even the third birthday is amazing.
Yeah.
I think of them all the time, like with Clock Tower, Parasite Eve, Dino Crisis, Resident Evil. Like just what a great time for a horror video game.
Yeah. PS1 was a good horror video game machine.
My answer has always been Beautiful Joe.
I almost wore my Beautiful Joe shirt tonight. I came very close.
I remember the first time you had it, we were talking about, I was like, man, I love Beautiful Joe.
Beautiful Joe is good. And I went out of my way to find two. I believe I bought it for the GameCube recently. Those games are amazing. They're great.
If they remastered the Beautiful Joes, I mean, that'd be great. Like a full HD.
Even if they just put it onto Switch so more people had access to it, it would
I would want them to touch it up. You're not lying. You're not wrong. But if they touched it up in today's world with the vibrant TVs and the HDR, I mean, that would be stellar.
Those games
and it's
are
already
hard.
A beautiful game.
And they're hard. They fit with the current narrative of our time. So why not? That game hates you, but
That'd
it
be
also
my answer.
loves you. All right.
Anything, Delvin?
Yeah, Lost
It
Planet.
doesn't matter. Game Pass has games coming out this week.
Oh, Donnie!
Bullshit. Everybody's been telling me all week they don't.
Have you unsubscribed from Game Pass? That's what we all have to check in. Have we all
No.
unsubscribed from Game Pass? That's what they're
No.
doing on the
No,
Twitter.
not yet.
I
That's what
just
the
played
kids
Trek.
are out here doing.
I just started Trek to Yomi. I forgot about that game on the Game Pass.
It's the new thing.
It's the new thing.
The
It's the
kids
hotness.
need to sit down. Tell
It's
the
the
kids to
hotness.
stop. Tell me about Game Pass, Donnie. Let's
Game
go.
Pass games coming out the 17th. These were announced last week, but we had so much news last week we didn't cover it. Her Story, Jurassic World Evolution 2, Little Witch in the Woods, Umarangi Generation. Those are out now. You can go play them. I'm gonna try Little Witch in the Woods one day. Umarangi Generation. Have you guys seen this?
I've seen it. I haven't.
No,
played
I
it.
haven't.
It's like this. It's the reason I bring it up is because it's different. It's completely out there. It's got a cool, I dare almost say a Suda-ish type of style. And it's like a photography game.
Oh,
Like you take photos and kind of like this very hyper stylized art world, and then you apply like filters and stuff. It's like I don't know, like Instagram the game or something. It's I'm not eagerly anticipating it or anything. Don't get me wrong. I just thought of the games included, it really stands out.
Yep.
So if you're looking for something different, maybe a little weird, maybe give them Umarangi Generation a try.
Yep.
Also out now, Farming Sim 22, Vampire Survivors, which the internet claims is amazing.
I have to check that out.
Vampire Survivors. Huh, what's that?
It's what's the best way of putting it? It's a I mean, I haven't played
game about people who have survived being vampires?
No. It's not. I assure you, it's nothing like what you're thinking. Think like it's like see, I'm gonna say Geometry Wars, but it doesn't look anything like Geometry Wars. Okay, but it's the gameplay is like Geometry Wars.
Okay.
You have like all of these waves of enemies that come at you, and you have to survive for like I think like 30 minutes.
I think I've seen this game.
And as you
on
get
PC.
like as you survive longer and kill more enemies, like you get better power-ups and better upgrades, and like every time you die, like you kind of keep going. So that is a lot of people like it. It's big on Steam, like real
it's big on Steam. I have watched this game. It looks rad. I'll probably check
there
this
were
out.
articles when it was announced for Game Pass. They're like 2022's best game so far this year is coming to Game Pass.
People really love this.
But it's only on PC. But if you're interested in something like that, and it's got like a really like old, like bad on purpose kind of style.
Yes.
It looks like a 8-bit, Castlevania.
Castlevania. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. But I don't want to say that because I don't want people to think side scroller. It's like Geometry Wars.
It's like top down, but with pixel art,
like a shooter type thing.
Yeah, it's rad. It's really cool.
Almost like Gauntlet. How Gauntlet looks.
Yes,
it's a twin stick shooter, but like with a Castlevania vibe. That's the best way to say it.
I'm gonna try it one day. Floppy Knights and Hard Space Shipbreaker are out now, and then tomorrow, Sniper Elite 5, day 1 on Game Pass. Getting good reviews, not amazing, but good reviews.
I'm interested to check that out. I am. What else we got?
2 years ago, I guess at this point, was it 3 years? Sniper Elite 4?
Yeah, 2 years, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
COVID
time.
Made
Yeah,
me lose time.
Was pretty fun. I'm not into the Sniper Elite things, but I thought maybe you would be, Elaine, because the last one was kind of Hitman-ish, almost Metal Gear. Like this one looks like they went further in that direction.
Yeah, I'm into
based
this.
on reviews.
I want
which
to
looks
check
cool.
this out.
I'm gonna play it. Definitely gonna play it. And then out this weekend, Cricket and Pac-Man Museum.
Yeah. Yep.
So Game Pass for the rest of the month. Looking forward to next month. Assassin's Creed Origins and For Honor Marching Fire Edition were leaked via the coming soon page in the Game Pass app. So Ubisoft's got some support on the way soon.
Yep.
Microsoft Flight Simulator Top Gun Maverick expansion is out today and it's free.
Great timing. That movie is out, so go play that if you're into
Game Pass if you bought it or whatever. Leaving Game Pass in early May, San Andreas, Enter the Gungeon, Final Fantasy X and X2 HD remaster. Jesus.
That's a mouthful. Keep going.
Remnant from the Ashes, Steep, The Catch, Carp and Coarse Fishing.
And The Wild at Heart.
The Wild at Heart, who we had on the show back in the day. That's a really fun game. If you're into Pikmin, definitely go play The Wild at Heart.
Yeah. Also, Remnant from the Ashes is very good and worth a look for folks who are into the Souls-like thing, but with guns. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Very cool.
That game's good.
And then leaving the end of May, EA Sports NHL 20, Farming Simulator 19, Knockout City, Resident Evil 7.
So good. Go play it.
And if you don't want to play it now, buy it because you'll get it on a discount and it leaves Game Pass. Buy it because they're giving out free next-gen updates
soon
to Resident Evil 7 and 8. Yeah, by the end of the year.
7, 8, 2, and 3.
Nice.
So 2 and 3 remasters are also getting those updates. So settle in, kids. 8 already got its next gen update. Village came out with.
Oh yeah,
came out on current console, so it's 2, 3, and 7.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Spellforce 3, Soul Harvest, Super Hot, Mind Control Delete, which is excellent, and then Yes, Your Grace, leaving Game Pass.
So go play them if you want to play them, kids. Game Pass is still great. News at 11.
We've got some PlayStation news. So as this PlayStation service, the PlayStation Plus remaster with the extra tiers, rolls out across Asia, we are learning some things about it. So here's the it's all right.
This is in flux as we literally
it is.
Probably.
This
so
is not everything here is set in stone. It is subject to change. If it does change, we will let you know. Also, this is somewhat confusing, and I'm going to try my best. I think I have a good handle on it. But a lot of people, if you're seeing this discourse on Twitter, a lot of people are upset against like one specific thing that they might be confusing with other things because of the tiers, because of the different services.
Yeah.
You need a damn chart just to even keep up with why people are angry.
So I'm going
to start with the big headline, because the big headline that came out was Sony was charging people extra that bought discounted codes. That was true. In Asia, people tried to upgrade or they tried to convert. And if they got, let's say they got PlayStation Plus for $40 instead of $60, when they tried to plug it in, it would try to charge them the difference. That was happening. PlayStation has come out and said that that was a mistake on their back end, and then they have fixed it. So
I don't believe that
goddamn right, that was a mistake.
I don't believe it was actually a mistake. I believe they tried to get away with something that they got called out on loudly and fixed it.
They fixed it.
That's what we're going to say. It's dealt with. If you have stacked codes, it sounds like they will stack and convert as you expect.
I still have an issue with that because that is something that I think there are multiple facets to this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you're one of these folks that stacked Game Pass, if you've already claimed them, so let's just, because we're an American podcast, we're going to talk about America. Sorry,
US
the rest of the world.
Region, yep.
Because we're here in the US. Let's say I have 3 years of Game Pass, 3 years of PlayStation Plus.
Mm-hmm.
When they convert you, if they're going to convert you to the essential tier, the low tier, tier 1.
Tier 1, that's easier.
Tier 1, yeah. You're automatically getting converted to tier 1. So you've got PlayStation Plus for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to upgrade that tier and go to tier 2, they will charge you the difference of those two tiers for 3 years up front.
Yeah, you can't do it month to month and then roll back a buck.
See, that's the thing ridiculous. Is everybody keeps saying that you can't do it month to month, but here's the thing that I have not seen clarity on, and which I don't believe is the case. This is the part that I actually think is like more upsetting to me that I'm not hearing from anybody else. It doesn't convert your time. You have to pay them the difference.
Right. Yes.
So if I have 3 years of tier 1, I can't trade that in on an upgrade for 1.5 years of tier 2.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
You have to swipe your credit card. Yeah. So there are people that have stacked 4 or 5 years of PlayStation Plus that can't upgrade for less than $1,200. They have to wait it out.
Yep.
That's egregious.
It is.
Stupid. That's what it is.
Here was my question. Because and honestly, for those of you who don't frequent our Discord, all of my facts and findings have been compared from reports on Reddit, the news, and then me hashing this out with Kyle. And Kyle is like PlayStation expert. So I feel very confident in this. So the next thing that I asked was, okay, you've got PlayStation Plus for 4 years. You pay $900 to have PlayStation Tier 2. What if you want to go back to Plus? Do you get a refund?
Absolutely not. You just won't have the option. You'll be allowed to go back.
But
they 4 years
will they convert it for more time, or will they just honor?
No.
So you're just leaving money on the table.
I'm speculating.
Yep.
No, I don't think you're leaving money on the table. I suspect they won't let you go
They won't
back
let
to
you.
tier 1 until your tier 2 allotment runs
Oh
out.
my,
Because
wow.
you've already paid.
I know. No, I'm with you.
So I think you're locked in for those 4 years.
I hate this.
So this is why I don't stack. This is
Oh,
why
that's true.
because I
This is
never know
bad.
what's going to happen.
This is
and
bad
is why
though,
I
but
don't
there are
stack. This is bad.
diehard, like there were articles written about it. When they announced this, they were like, PlayStation fans are buying years of PlayStation Plus.
Yeah. And they're going to
Oh,
get
And
no.
PlayStation like, fuck you.
Delvin, oh no.
It's the
This is
people
horrible.
It's the people who stacked now codes
Yeah.
that will be in a better position.
And yeah, because if you kept the codes,
Yes.
and that's the other thing that makes me mad. The reason they have a conversion. They have a whole chart. It's confusing as hell.
It's very confusing.
It's got like 8 rows. That's how many charts are. But so if you claim a new code, they'll convert that into your sub.
Right.
But if you want to trade levels, they won't convert. That doesn't make any sense.
It's bad. They are not good at this. This
Like
is not something they do well, ever. They've never done this well. And, we're back. This is a Nintendo-ass move.
It is.
Like,
and here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm not... One, I never have news stories or say things to like dunk on PlayStation. I never want that to be the case. I was planning on upgrading to the tier 2 level because I have like 18 months of PlayStation Plus. I'm not even using. I don't even have a PlayStation 5. Right. I was like, I'm gonna go to the second tier level just to try out some backwards compatible stuff on my PS4. I can't unless I pay, like, swip up my credit card and pay them, whatever the difference is. Say it's $80. I'm not doing that.
Right.
That doesn't. So that's one. But also, I want to say this for everybody out there that want like multiple levels of Game Pass. This is why I don't.
It's a nightmare.
I don't want this. There should be 2 things for Game Pass. There should be Game Pass and Game Pass for families.
I agree.
That's it. I don't want a streaming pass and a PC pass and a Game Pass and a Game Pass Ultimate Pass and a family pass. It's too much. I don't want to, the Game Pass with Ubisoft or the Game Pass. I don't want add-ons. Let's keep it simple, stupid. And this is a big reason because let's say they had 4 levels of Game Pass. They'd probably do the same thing PlayStation's doing. I'm not giving them any hope.
I don't know that they would make you pay it up front. I suspect they would make you put a credit card on file. If I'm guessing, the right thing to do here is make you put the card on file, and for as long as you keep the tier 2, you pay the difference every month, and then you can pull it back when you're ready to pull it back. That would be the correct thing to do.
If you want to give me like giant big conspiracy theory, this is brilliant. This is
Oh,
brilliant.
yeah. They're getting a buttload of money for people who aren't.
It encourages people to sign up monthly so they can change tiers.
Yeah.
Which is the higher price. You're going to pay the higher amount.
Or once 1 year at a time. Which is, I suspect what most people will do is a year at a go.
I think most people will just set it and forget it. To be honest with you, I don't think this issue is an issue for most people. They'll just pick a tier and stay there.
I usually set it and forget it, but yearly. I have the bucket come out year. I don't do a monthly charge because I save money by doing yearly. But I won't buy cards on discount.
There's so many people when this news was going around this week that I saw on Twitter. They're like, I just wanted to try the top tier.
Right. Yeah.
I can't try the top tier for a month. Like those are regular people that have PlayStation Plus for 2 years. Let's say they've had it for 2 years. I know. And they can't try the top tier.
You would just have to create a new PSN ID to do.
Oh my God.
Right. Think about that. That's
so absurd.
That's their shitty answer, but that's the answer.
Or trade accounts with somebody.
And that's terrible. That's a terrible.
It's bad. Yeah, they can't try it.
They should have at least on here besides that.
Maybe like let everybody have the high tier for a month.
I think that would have been an okay thing.
That would have been nice. Okay, it's not all bad though. Okay,
it's not all bad.
Not all bad. There's good things too.
Yeah.
Games are getting trophy support, including Siphon Filter, Intelligent Cube, Hot Shots Golf, Ape Escape, and Wild Arms.
Good games.
And more.
Wild Arms is great.
So old classic games get trophy support. I know our Platinum Princess got to be stoked about that, right?
This is good.
Huge
yes,
news.
she is.
Be excited.
Huge news. But
let me see if I can. Let me see if I can chip away at that excitement.
Sir.
All of the PS1 games apparently are the PAL version, even in non-PAL regions. Again, maybe this changes by the time it rolls out here. This is not definite, but Taiwan is not a PAL region, and they are getting the PAL versions of the game.
So this was a complaint that went around when the PlayStation Classic came out,
and the Wii.
The ROMs that were on the PlayStation Classic were PAL 50 hertz versions, And that was weird
That's
choice,
correct.
and they were running like crap for a lot of people, and
Yeah,
you
they're
were
not.
getting flicker and all kinds of other
I'm
garbage.
probably
So,
still gonna try Hot Shots, but
oh yeah, I'll play. It's
50
there.
50 hertz Hot Shot sounds bad. It
It's
sounds real
weird.
bad. And if
It's
anybody's never
hard.
played it, the videos like they play back at a slower speed, but it's
Mhm.
not just the video. Like you'll get like audio distortion and crunching and stuff too.
It's yeah.
It's
Yep.
not great.
It's not great.
This is the
But
only reason I even know that it's not, because I have played my PlayStation Classic. I remember that. I don't think I ever played it outside that first day. But the reason I remember this is when the Wii U was announced, they went on record to let people know they weren't using PAL version, and like the world rejoiced.
Yeah.
Because they put a lot of PAL stuff on the virtual
Yep,
console on the
they
Wii.
did. There were a lot of complaints about that as well.
So,
a lot of people.
yeah.
So that's not great. I hope that gets fixed. I understand why that's happening. Those ROMs are in their back pocket from the classic, and they're just pushing them forward.
Yeah, they're just putting them here.
This is not the best way to play those games. It's never going to be, but here we are. So,
but because the service is rolling out, we were actually seeing videos of the stuff in motion, and I got to tell you, it looked pretty good. I watched this person run through the Oddworld stuff. So you will get 1:1 video, 4:3, 16:10, 4:3, and 16:9 video formats. You can also choose between square pixels, wide zoom, so it gets rid of the black bars. You zoom in, and then you also get a lot of filters, including a retro classic like CRT filter, which is nice.
Yeah, so there's good here.
Yeah.
What else has got?
Yeah,
I thought it was nice. The games in the extra premium tier, so I'm going to say that's tier 2 and 3.
Okay,
yes. They're playable offline, but they do require weekly validation, so you need to check in once a week.
I think Steam works like that, doesn't it? Doesn't Steam require a weekly or monthly check-in? Yeah, this is fine. I get that. That's okay with me. I'm not upset.
No PS3 games will support DLC.
That's a bummer, actually. I wish they had just rolled all that DLC up, but I kind of, with them shuttering stores and things being weird, I'm not necessarily surprised.
I am curious, will they have the Ultimate Edition of games on there?
Yeah,
so you
that's
don't necessarily, because some versions just have that Ultimate Edition. You don't have to worry about it.
I never tried them with PlayStation Now, so I don't know.
I didn't either. This is going to be my first. I'm going to fiddle with this when it comes out at the top tier and just play and see if it's something I care about. So
yeah. Okay. Some quick hitters. Activision Blizzard Studio Raven won their vote to unionize.
Let's go.
Have either of you dove into that story at all?
No, I haven't had a chance. But
I'm a little confused because they didn't unionize Raven, just game testers at Raven, right? There's 19 game testers. There's 350, 400 people at Raven.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a secondary vote, and this is like a representative.
Only they took pictures and only they voed. So I was under the impression that it was the
probably
game testers at Raven have joined in a union. So they will collectively bargain on behalf of the testers with Activision.
And I believe testers are often consultants or like, contractors anyway.
Contractors, I don't think they get benefits.
Probably more for like negotiating contractor stuff. So
this is huge news. This is the first video game union in North America, or I think in the US, maybe just the US.
It is worth noting that Reggie actually went on record and said this week that they should be unionizing and companies should be letting them unionize, shutting up and moving on. Like, that is worth noting that he was all for the union situation.
I think typically, not to go super politics, because the last 30 hours have absolutely
I was about to say, go light.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't want it either. Typically, I've been, I think, mostly like not super into unions. It does seem to have some tangible. There are pros and cons. There are pros and cons.
The big pro is group negotiation instead of
it usually tends to inflate costs, and that's like a thing about it. But here's the hear me out. Let me cook. With video games and the treatment that I've seen studios and employees go through video games and the high turnover, not just the high turnover, and I want to be clear, I'm speaking with my chest, the high profit margins
versus
that video games have. There's no reason why video game companies should be afraid of that cost. They make more than enough to cover the cost. They don't. I know why they don't. They don't like it because it's going to eat into their profit margin.
Shareholder
they don't like that. And
that's
not. I don't care about that anymore. There's so much money in games to go around. So much The publisher just sold for $70 billion.
Yeah, you're right.
You mean to tell me we can't pay video game testers a basic wage and give them rights to healthcare? That's that's an argument I refuse to buy from like HR people or publishers or the ESA. I don't want to hear that from them anymore.
I will strongly encourage, and I'm going to say this up front. I am not the biggest fan of Jason Schreier as a reporter or the way he interacts on social media. However, I strongly recommend people who are interested in this topic and what Donnie just had to say, listen or read to his book, Press Reset, his second book, not his first one. His first one's very good, but Press Reset goes through a lot of stories of big layoffs and how it infected those employees and their view of making games and why some of them have left. And he makes the unionization point at the end of that book, and it is well researched, and his interviews are very good, and his information is good, and I strongly recommend that book. And I don't like him, but I think his books are very good.
He's very knowledgeable.
John,
very knowledgeable.
He does good research. So
many development teams are international, which can complicate unionization.
That is true.
I'm totally for it. I mean, it's not going to be for everybody, and I'm sure in most parts of the world they won't do it. But I think if a studio can, specifically in the West, I'm not against it. Is more or less what I want to say. I'm not against it, and most of the time when I hear people say that, like, oh my god, it's gonna inflate the price of games. Oh my god, it's gonna make this worse. I think those arguments have fallen to me, seeing what's transpired. Like, as more of this becomes more public, and it's not. And again, I'm not just talking about like, the Kodak bullshit. Like, F him. I'm talking about just when you see a company that's like, we made $1 billion more this year than we did last. And I realize I'm not speaking for everybody. I know. But I realize there are, capitalistic tendencies to this. Like, if you don't make it, you're going to go bust. I get it. But for these big publishers, I can afford it, because that's the only places that would unionize, right? Like, indie studios aren't going to unionize.
That's why I recommend that book, Press Reset. That's why, because he tells a lot of those stories of like, we just launched Bioshock
when we're talking
Infinite.
Unionize.
Yeah.
We're talking at like EA. Like, we're talking to Ubisoft.
Or even
big companies,
the size that Irrational got to before they dissolved Irrational, and 2K. That book is making this point poignantly and with research data and stories. I highly recommend.
They make so much money. Money. It's so much.
And there are people who just go from job to job every 2 years because of the way the industry is structured and lose. Sometimes they don't get pensions and benefits when they are severanced out. Like, it's a worthwhile book.
Yeah, I'd be totally down for it. PlayStation, Xbox. I think it'd be great.
I want to see it happen. Reggie was on board, so I enjoyed that he spoke out.
Yeah,
that was good.
I've really turned on it. I've turned on the issue, I think.
Yep. What else we got? Quick.
GSC Game World confirms the development for Stalker 2 has resumed. They have a partial team working on it. They're now in Prague.
Good for them for getting safe and continuing to work, but I'm glad they prioritized what they needed to prioritize in the time being. So
yep. And speaking of that, I didn't put this in here, but speaking of that, I think some maybe dovetail into that. Replaced was officially delayed today, and
I saw that for similar reasons. Yep.
Folks listen to the show know that. I mean, you have been informed. We told you, I think, months ago. I was talking about, like, once this war started, Stalker 2 replaced, Atomic Heart, like several games just got put out indefinitely. So I felt real bad earlier. There were a lot of people that were like, delay box, another game missing. It's like, guys, they're in Belarus.
They need to get out, and
they're in the war, like in the war zone, like right, honestly, on the border, like right in the war zone,
right there.
They're right in the middle of it.
Yeah, they're worried about their
whining about not getting a video game.
Nah,
that's a joke, right? It's like, come on.
Nah, people are short-sighted, and it's sad,
and they don't know any better. I'm sure they don't know that the studio's in.
Then they need to educate themselves and shut up first. You know what I mean? Like, do a quick Google of where is this studio, and the studios who have delayed games have released specific statements saying we're in the war zone, y'all. So shut up. People need to stop.
Studio 51 said he might reveal his next game by the end of 2022, which, like everything in video games, means probably by the end of 2022.
I was going to say never or never. We'll see.
Remember that game he was making with Swery that they talked about like 4 years ago?
Stop.
That was never a thing, right? That was
breaking my heart. It was never.
It was a breakfast conversation. That's all.
That was. They had
Take-Two completed their $13 billion merger of Zynga. So
I forgot this was even happening.
Point made. Oh, we got to stop them. Monopolies.
All right, no, keep moving. We're not doing this today, Spicy Man.
DICE has confirmed plans to stop developing the new mode for Battlefield 2042's Hazard Zone. You know, the big thing that I thought that was the game, and it was just like a mode.
They should stop developing Battlefield.
Stop development for Battlefield.
Just stop.
Damn!
Just fucking stop. End it.
That was spicy. Oh shit!
I'm not happy to dance on that game's grave, but I will take a moment. I'll take a victory lap, and I told you so. I told you all so. I told Delvin so. I told Devin so. I told everybody so.
What else do you got?
I got rumors. Elaine, since you left, we implemented a buy or sell segment. So buy or sell, EA is reportedly pursuing acquisition.
Yeah, they said
Amazon, Apple, Disney were all mentioned.
They basically came out and said, "Hey, who wants to buy us?"
Of course,
bro. That's not how this works. So you have to have something worth buying first, right now.
I'm buying that they would look into it.
Yeah.
As you guys know, because you listen to this show, we've been trying to tell you all 2 years. But the reason these companies are up for sale is because a lot of them, rightly so, feel like they've reached the maximum of their earning level.
Yeah.
At the same time, costs are going up. At the same time, with inflation, their value has never been higher.
Right. This is a great time to sell. So
this is a great time to sell.
This is about business.
This is about cashing out.
This is about money
while
in
you
the bank.
can. And I buy the EA's talking. Am I buying that somebody's?
I don't think they have enough to sell to make it worth it from a property perspective right now. But
Really?
we'll see. I just don't know that anybody wants to go look at Microsoft. Went all
Microsoft
in on
would love to have EA. Yeah,
they just went in.
I was going to say that same.
No, I know that. That's why I'm not. I'm not suggesting they're buying them. I'm with you.
No, I don't think they're going.
Would they want them? Like, would they value them?
Yeah,
I absolutely
maybe.
think they would value them. Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to go in on this, and I don't think Sony or Nintendo.
Let me ask this then: would they get Madden?
Yeah,
because Madden's a huge deal. So
they would treat that like Call of Duty.
Yeah, and Madden comes with costs. You still have to license. There's a lot of paperwork and red tape with Madden.
Another thing that would stop them is they don't need to buy EA. They already have EA. EA is in Game Pass.
They have partners with them already. They don't need to bother. They're not.
But I think if they had the chance to make Madden exclusive, I think they would be very interested.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
but they don't,
sure.
and they won't.
They don't. This is not going to happen.
Yeah, and they don't want Battlefield. No, I don't. I didn't suggest that out there, but I was just suggesting that I think I was more saying their studios and their franchises I think have value.
They have value. The question is how much value for someone along with the red tape and the licensing,
of course,
with that value, because that's a lot of work.
Take-Two should buy them.
I was going to say that exact same thing.
I don't think
Take-Two
they have the
should
money.
definitely buy EA. They've always should have merged.
They could merge, but I don't think Take-Two has the money to buy them outright. Liquid cash. I just don't think they do. But
I mean, they just bought Zynga.
Well, yeah, there goes all their money. So their money that's probably their liquid capital for a while. You know what I mean?
200 million more copies of Grand Theft Auto.
I keep forgetting that that's a thing.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got?
Buy or sell. TCL Technology had a nice tweet today. They did a geek presentation, where they had a chart suggesting that the next iterations of the Xbox Series and PlayStation 5 Pro could be expected in 2023 or 2024.
I don't buy this because
TCL, is that the TV company?
They make good panels. They use
they make good
panels and they're Panasonic.
Make good TVs, but yes, they are affordable. They are good affordable TVs.
Mid-range, they sell them in Target. I don't buy this because I don't think there are chips, there's silicone out there for this to happen right now. They barely can make what they're selling right now. I just don't see a world in which they can get the chips.
We had a question a couple weeks ago in the podcast, which I said that I do think that the companies would want to do next consoles in 2024. But I'm not buying this rumor because of that. I honestly think TCL was just guessing. I think they're they're thrown up on TV. I did think it was interesting though. They did list specific targets and specific GPUs, which
they're guessing
also could just be guessing.
They're just looking at the chips that have come out after the consoles have come out and comparing up. That's all they're doing. The
Xbox Drive talked about it today, which I appreciated. I was hanging out with them, and I just reminded them because there are a lot of people, and I think rightfully so. There are a lot of people that just feel like this generation hasn't even really started.
I feel
because we've had so many delays,
because
we had so many cross-generational games, because there's still so many people that can't get one. Although
that's it.
I believe this generation has sold through faster in 2 years than any other generation before. So while there is a lot of demand, their 2 years in terms of demand are better than everybody else's.
Yes, but the problem is until you can have a box sitting on a shelf
I'm
for
with
the
you.
current model, how are you going to make the next one? Do you know
I'm
what I
with
mean?
you.
Like,
I do think they're going to make. I think we'll get iterations. I thought we'd get slim models first, but I think we'll get half-step models 2024, probably because of the delay in COVID. Probably 2025.
I think 2025, if you're talking about half step, I could have seen a slim model 2023, 2024.
Yeah.
Because that's just it's cosmetic in size and chips get
I
cooler.
think 4 years, even if it doesn't feel like it for gamers, 4 years is not a bad time to introduce a mid-grade, especially with how popular they were last time, that I might expect them to maybe go a little earlier on that idea. And I just reminded the Xbox Drive, and so I'll remind folks listening to our show, it would be nice to have boxes that could actually hit 4K 60 all the time.
I agree with you, but like I said, there's no
Which I think
silicone.
2024, 2025, you can. Like, they could be there.
I agree with that. However, we can't even get the silicone to put chips in cars right now.
Yep,
they're sitting on lots not having like technology in them. Even regular gas cars, because of silicone shortages and supply chain issues, they got to resolve that before they can start pushing out new models.
100%.
So I think this will be longer than we.
It was so funny because when I saw the picture and I posted it, and then watching the Xbox Drive's chat and stuff, there are some people who were like, I wouldn't want a half step. We just got these. And it's like, yeah, we just got these and they don't do everything that we asked them to.
True.
Like what we were and I felt the same way last gen, what we were sold on.
But by the end of last gen, we got what we were sold on. The problem is a matter of optimization. It's not that this hardware cannot do it. It's that COVID has delayed.
We can't do it with dying light.
No, well, but is that a code issue? Is that what I mean? Is that just a development issue?
I honestly think it's just, that's where the system is.
There's a new Unreal Engine coming out.
That's true.
Maybe
that could help
everything.
Stuff. Yeah, but like the Lumen tech and I mean, it looks intensive too, though, right? It looks intensive too.
Yeah,
like that Matrix demo wasn't like stellar performance wise.
But then you come against like how many people have a TV capable of displaying that stuff. It's the same thing we had when the Xbox 360 came out and we were discussing 1080p. How many people have this set? Do you know what I mean? Is it worth it to rush a half set?
I would be interested in an upgrade.
I would too, but we're the nerds who buy everything first.
We're the nerds. But I think
we're the 1%, Donnie.
That's the pro consumer, though. Like the consumer for the pro consoles are those. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get those sooner this go than we did last go.
I'm curious to see what happens. I guess it's all going to depend on what can you get.
Because I think they look at it that way. They're like, yeah, we can sell, but we can sell 5% of these if we just give them a better model, slightly better model.
I don't disagree.
Switch Leaker on Twitter, who's been correct quite a bit in the past, which is why he shares information, says the Astral 2 is a thing and it's coming next year. And boy, is your news editor excited. Donnie loves Astral Chain.
I do too, and I would believe this. This is believable to me.
Yeah, I think it's true.
This is believable.
Good stuff.
I would love to see this co-launch on Switch and PC. I would really like to see that game in particular get some horsepower behind it in at least one version, because
I'd love to see it get just more people behind it. It didn't sell super well. I think it sold 1 million copies, but not like
it sold well enough.
Not like Switch bit.
No, it didn't.
Yeah,
that's why I would love to see them put it on PC. It would be a good place for it to also go. It's a great.
We talked about this with Bayonetta and Metroid. These games don't typically find a big audience on the Nintendo only platform. I really appreciate that Nintendo puts them there because they're games that the system lacks. But a game like Astral Chain could really find, a player base on PC. And I don't think it'd be bad to bring it, a year later or something like that. That'd be great.
Port it to PC right before the second one comes out and dual launch that. Then let's go.
I loved Astral Chain.
Great game.
It runs and looks beautiful on Switch, especially on the OLED. That is an OLED popper for sure. Yeah,
I was impressed.
How much they tailored the game for the system, and that's appreciated on the other end. But the game, the ending, the second half of that game is so apocalyptic. I love it. It's just so destructive.
It's a great game.
Yeah, and it's got a cool concept, and I like the it's the upside down, like the astral world they go to, and so it's cool.
It's got Persona vibes for me. It always did. I really enjoy it. It's got the vibe, not the play, but the vibe. So,
you find the cats? I remember that, right?
Yep.
Yes. God, the game was so good. Maybe I need to replay Astral.
There you go. You got nothing else to do. Play that on your OLED.
I had so much fun with it the first time while everybody was like, it's mediocre. And I was like, this is the best game I've played from Platinum, from like since Bayonetta. This was Astral Chain was like Platinum, like coming back to form a bit. I dug it. I hope other people give it a chance. It's good.
I love it. Love it. All right.
That's all the news this week.
So are we doing questions? Am I taking questions this week? Is that what's happening?
You can, but we've got to answer the ones at the bottom.
That's what I was going to do. So this one, we're going to hit up TPR since I got that lovely bump there for the news. So TPR says, Elaine, which cat of this group needs the most herding right now? It's usually Donnie. He's the craziest of the cats. That I'm right?
Hearsay? Leading. What's the depth trial? What is it?
Do I need to give you the mom look? Like, sir, it's you. I love you so much. You know that. This is place of love. I love that question. Haley wants to know, how have you been and what's your most anticipated game? What's coming out the rest of the year?
How have you been? How have you been?
I've been good. I've been busy. I switched jobs. I got a new job about a month ago.
Like a boss.
She's rich now.
I'm not rich now. I've got freaking 4 kids in this house half the time. But the 4 kids it's all evened out. Everybody's happy. Girlfriend and I are happy.
Brady bunch over there.
It's the
I was just gonna say that.
My friend said it's the big gay Brady bunch and the dog is the nanny, and that shit's
coming
hilarious.
soon to NBC.
Big gay Brady bunch. And Jax is just the dog is just in the middle with his rainbow bandana.
In 2022 that'd be huge.
Yeah, we crush it. So we have the big gay Brady bunch. We do. And it's lovely. And the kids are very happy and we're very happy. And
you all look happy.
We're living our best life.
That makes us happy. Yeah. We all folks out there may not know, but it's not like we haven't been in touch with Elaine.
No, I've been on the Discord on and off.
I'm
living my best life. I'm very happy. I'm glad that I'm starting to even things out and get back to, podcasting and extra stuff as like we navigate life. But yeah, I was wondering where Elaine's been.
I want to say,
wow, nice.
I gotta say that's one of the greatest screen names I've ever seen in my life.
Luke Trapwalker.
Right?
Yeah, I know Luke Trapwalker, and he's listened to me on podcasts for a very like 08, 09 long time. So
that's dope.
Yeah,
the goat.
I am very, very happy and glad to be back and cruising in. But life's been busy, but not bad. So that's what I'm gonna say. Most anticipated game, like in the short term, I'm really excited about that Monster Hunter Rise expansion that's coming out in a month. I'm really pumped about that.
Getting that other controller?
I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah,
I own the first one.
Yeah.
You know who I am. That has not changed, my dude.
I don't like Monster Hunter, but that controller looks good.
It's dope. The other one that they released is also really pretty. The other one that's big for me, and it's gonna be kind of like a weird one, is Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, which is supposed to come out this year. Test Drive Unlimited was one of my favorite 360 driving games. You cruised around Hawaii. You could just drive. It was like Forza Horizon before Forza Horizon, like kind of.
I never played it.
So Solar Crown is supposed to be out this year. It is. I'm excited. Test Drive is good. And the other one is Splatoon 3. There's 4 kids in this house who are pumped about Splatoon 3, and let's go. We're gonna play.
Excited to play
Salmon Run
again.
Yeah.
I haven't played my Switch. But if it's not Switch Sports, I don't think I've played my Switch in like 2 months.
I want to play Nobody Saves the World, which I just recently downloaded for my Switch specifically. So that's next up.
I canceled my Strikers pre-order.
Really?
I don't think it's going to last very long. I'm not like super sold on the game.
No, you had this problem with the golf too.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be one of those things where everybody buys it and you see like pictures all weekend long, and then you never hear about it again.
Yeah,
it goes away.
I feel.
And it's not that I'm never going to buy it. I remain open to buying it. I'll probably get it on Black Friday or something for half off. But I'm just not going to buy it. Like I've got the Quarry and I'm Fire Emblem Warriors, so I'm
excited about. Yes, the Quarry I'm pumped for. It's coming out along with 2 other games at the same time. I don't care. I told Angel, I was like, we're playing this. You're making all the decisions. You can hide behind me and screech the whole time. That's what we're going to do. So she's excited.
Definitely. So I'm going to play those instead. And then one day I'll get to Strikers.
I think Strikers will be big with the kids. So we'll probably grab it and play it with the kids. And then I'll play the Quarry at night and scare the shit out of her so she doesn't sleep and gets mad at me. So that'll be fun. All right, onward. Josh Bones, Elaine and Devin and Delvin and Elaine with Devin and Delvin and Donnie. How do you even? Love you, love the show. I'll try to drop in tonight with some subs. I I love these fools. The reality is they're like my 3 older, younger brothers in some combination. Like, it's like, I don't know. It never feels like work. They're delightful. I love them. I'll get mushy. I missed you guys a great deal, and I'm glad to be back. So I do because I love. That's how. How about that? See?
Oh,
See? The hearts.
I'm her
I have
favorite.
the hearts. Maybe.
Dude, Dev's her favorite.
I also love Dev. Oh, I love you all.
Dev's
I love
no
you
one's
all for
favorite.
different reasons. Yeah, actually, Angel was pretty excited I was going to be on the show. She's like, I love those boys. They're ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll always have foot stuff.
Yeah, and they are ridiculous. So hopefully she didn't like fall asleep in the other room. All right, let's do 1 or 2 more questions here. Okay, this one's good from David. Which games do you want PlayStation to prioritize on PC first? And do you think some co-marketing with Steam Deck is a good idea? That's not a bad idea.
Yes,
I
on
really
the last part, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, there's nothing.
Dude, I would
do.
love to see like a Shuhei Yoshida Steam Deck commercial.
Yeah.
It would be
That'd
good.
be cool.
Like, play your favorite PlayStation games right on this deck. That would be
That's
I
great.
would love to
amazing.
see a Shuhei Yoshida PlayStation commercial
That
in
would be
general.
Yeah, I would love to see Shuhei. Has anybody
exactly.
seen him?
Where?
Are we sure he made it?
No,
Put his
not.
ass
He's
on
in
a
a
milk
back room
carton.
somewhere. Jesus.
But yeah, I mean, it would be cool. Like, I would love to shoot it. Like, even if it was like a made for YouTube thing, right? They didn't run it on TV. It would be amazing to see him like in a chair crying, like his Vita dies.
Putting
then,
his
like-
Vita in a drawer and pulling.
No.
out
He's sitting there playing, and it just powers down,
Oh,
and he sheds a tear, and then Gabe comes in and
hands him a
Steam decks
Deck.
him.
Oh man,
Shuhei
like
lights up and starts playing Horizon or God of War or something. Dope.
yeah.
like
As for priority, I think Spider-Man, like,
Yeah, that's
probably needs to be
good answer.
moved over, and I think that Bloodborne, because people are frothing.
Spider-Man would
probably needs
sell
to
40 million copies on PC.
people
Yes.
would lose their damn minds. It seems like money in the bank, and I don't understand why that hasn't happened faster.
Yeah, they would sell gangbusters with Spider-Man.
There was just a report before this podcast that Sony has seen very good profits off their PC sales and is looking to expand them. So expect more PC games out of Sony.
Well, good segue, because I think I've been saying this for a while, and I'm not like confident that I'm right. I just think that what I'm saying is right. I think it has great sense to it. I don't think you remake The Last of Us after The Last of Us remake if you weren't wanting to put it on PC.
I don't
Definitely.
disagree, and I think that's another franchise that like is money in the bank, and I don't understand why we're dragging our feet.
Yeah, because
know?
you're not going to sell tons of copies to PS5 owners because they already have the remaster,
Right.
So,
No,
like,
you'll
to
still
me, it
sell
doesn't
tons
make
of copies.
business sense to remake. I mean, it makes sense. I'm eagerly anticipating seeing it because I'm probably going to buy another console to play it.
Yep.
But
Tony.
they have the show, right? Everybody knows they're remaking it because they have the show. They're going to kind of
Yeah.
relaunch this whole franchise. But you're not going to sell tons of copies, even with the show on PS5. But you put that thing on PC,
Yeah.
and it's, dude.
I
The
feel
Last
like
of Us?
they have to. And Uncharted is not yet on PC either, is it?
No.
Not yet.
That's nuts
Next
to me.
June. It's
Next
June.
So like they're
but,
on
like,
it, you know.
They're going to do factions. It's probably going to be a part of this remaster, I guess. It's a live service game.
Yeah.
So to me, it makes all the sense in the world that they would put the service game, if it's a bundle, if it's a collection plus the campaign, you put it on PC. You get a whole new path of players, and you launch your live service game the best way possible. I think factions would be big on PC.
Yeah. I
Huge.
think this would be an enormous seller for people who just haven't wanted to cash in on on a PlayStation. Though it's like the obvious ones, the stuff you can't play anywhere else that hasn't made it, like Spider-Man and The Last of Us are huge. And Bloodborne is a cult favorite. People would lose their
it's a good
fool minds about Bloodborne on PC.
Put Resogun on PC.
That would be
was
fun.
so good. Resogun was good. Put it all on PC, Sony. Release them day and date. Make bank.
Ratchet.
Yeah. Put them
Yeah,
all
Ratchet
out.
would work.
Do it faster. All right. Onward. Kyle, I saw this one pop up on Twitter today and I liked it. If you wanted to speed run any game of your choosing, what game would you select and why? You can also select your podcast partners' games to speed run.
I have questions.
Okay.
Like, is the question of this like if you were good at speed running and you wanted to speed run in a game,
or if you just decided today I'm going to learn how to be good at speed running and this is the game I'm going to choose to do it. You don't have to be good at it at first. The whole point is it's iterative.
okay.
You know what I mean? let's just say you pick
Why would I
a
want to do
game.
that?
Enjoy
That sounds like a
speed running.
nightmare.
I want to play Resident Evil 7. I've seen some really cool speed runs of that. I love that game. That would be the one I would choose. That'd be the one.
Mine would probably be like Mario 64.
Good choice.
Maybe Mario 3.
You should watch some
That's
speed
my
runs
choice.
of Mario 64.
That's literally my
Those are
choice.
those
Is
are
it?
broke and they're
Mario
fun to watch.
3?
Both of
Yes.
them.
Yeah. Speedrunning for Mario, I think, would be fun. I think it's a good game. I think it looks like I understand speedrunning a Mario game.
Mhm.
It's kind of made that way. Whereas, like, I don't necessarily like a Zelda game.
Yeah, I don't want to do a Zelda game.
I don't want to speedrun a Zelda game, you know, where it's like there are times where I do play, especially those old side-scrolling Marios. There are times where I just want to like try to see how me and my cousins used to see how fast we could beat a level. We just play the level over and over again, see if we could beat each other's scores. So we kind of turned into a racing game. So yeah, something like that.
What about you, Delvin? You said Mario 3, so 2 Marios and a Resident Evil. That's a good mix. It's not weird at all.
Yeah, I don't want to speed run anything, but if I have to, it'll probably be
Same.
Mario 3. Mario 3 or Mario 1.
Resident Evil 7 was the closest I got because it had an achievement for finishing the game in under 4 hours, and you unlocked a special item because that's how Resident Evil games work for doing it. And so I did it. I think I finished it in 2 hours and 40 minutes. And I've watched speedruns that are like 40 minutes for that game. It's nuts. So it's very, very cool. I'm going to hit us up with one more question before we bump out of here. And because it's almost June, this one seems apt. This is from Tyler. Is E3 dead and gone, or do you think they'll try to do it again next year?
I think it's dead.
I think it's dead.
I don't want to admit it. This sucks. I miss E3 a lot. I know Donnie misses E3 a lot, but it doesn't feel the same without E3 around. And
agree.
Like I'm not hyped for anything in June. I'm like, whatever. June comes, it comes. Like they keep talking about state of plays and all that shit. I don't care. E3 kind of had this kind of vibe around it that made you feel excited for video games, got you pumped up, and now it's just not there. It's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see it when we see it now.
I think
So
it might be. I think it's probably done, but I will miss it also. I echo Delvin's thoughts, but I think that we are now at a place in this industry where it no longer makes sense to do E3 as they had been doing it, and these other individual events just work better and are cheaper. So such is life. Sad.
I argue with you on that one. I've argued with everybody on that one.
You can't. A pre-recorded video that you throw up on YouTube is like way easier than shipping a bunch.
I don't disagree
LA,
that it's easier, and I don't disagree that it's
cheaper.
Potentially more cost effective. Although it's definitely cost effective to make a video than it is to put up an E3 booth. But I don't necessarily know if it's cost effective from a marketing angle.
I don't know that marketing works the same way anymore. You know, you're throwing
my
ads
argument
up on YouTube now.
My argument has always been that there's strength in numbers and that a high tide raises all boats. And
you're right.
I think especially like you've got to be just like the top of the top to have the arrogance to say like we will reach everybody via YouTube and social media.
That's true.
On our own time and our own day. So that's the thing. Like not even Call of Duty like pulls, everybody in. The thing that I really loved about E3 that I try to appreciate and always bring up is by bringing everybody to the table, you're catching all the viewers. I saw personally, I saw so many more games than I would ever find if I was trying to watch them on my own because, and I'm like a devout customer, but because they would show me games that I was already there sitting to watch, right? Like I'm already going to watch the EA conference. So if they throw an indie in there, like that's a thing I'm going to watch the PlayStation conference. And if I see a game pop in there, that's a game that I was going, that I may not have seen on my own. It's like that. The echo rings so much stronger and it reaches so much more people when they do it together. When you've got PlayStation, EA, UB, it's the Avengers, it's the combined reach, like CNN would run stories on it. They'd be like, this year in gaming at E3, and they'd run out and they'd do a quick thing. There's a new Mario game, right? I don't know if we get that if we just go, we'll get the Twitch influencers and the YouTubers to follow us.
We will lose that, but I don't know that is enough right now for them to bring it back.
I agree. And I'm sorry to answer the question. I agree with
done.
Elaine.
Yeah.
I think it's really hard to resurrect things. I think momentum matters. I don't think they could resurrect E3 short of like turning it over to somebody else, like doing some partnership, like finding like IGN presents E3, like just let them do it for us, like without some sort of major change at like the corporate organization level. I just think the momentum has been lost. Partnerships have been, lost. Like people have found other solutions. So I think they need to partner with somebody. Jeff Keighley presents
E3 idea, by the way.
or IGN does E3 or something. Like partner with somebody and just let them do it for you.
Just have everybody make their own videos and IGN or somebody just puts it out that same day. Like, hey, day one
is that's what COVID E3 was.
That's the thing is a partner like that would solicit participation. Like, I think people would be willing to work with them, and they would probably do it in a video type way, but still maybe have either like some sort of public show floor, or like I'm sure that like a power like that could get, Jim Ryan and Phil, somebody to do either like a video or a webinar or a speech, maybe like possibly a speech.
Yeah,
come into IGN Studios and do a little interview real quick. Yeah, stuff like that.
It's not an insurmountable thing, but I don't see it happening.
I'm with you.
I do not think next year is magically going to be back. I think rest in peace to what we knew and loved, and it's sad, and you're going to have to pour one out for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we're done. So I think we're also done with this podcast this week because that wraps us up neatly and tightly. Gentlemen, thank you for letting me come back and not being mad at me. I love you both. And I miss you, Dev. Come back. Come back, Dev.
Nope. Who?
No, we okay.
Who?
You guys do.
Who?
Y'all are
talking about Haley.
I love
Elaine.
Haley's
what you didn't know is in your absence. We killed Dev.
Yes.
But I just talked to his ass today. Which AI is pretending to be Dev? I knew it.
Or is that what we wanted you to know?
You guys are not that freaking clever.
I'm not clever at all.
She's right.
You're Florida man. Come on.
Yes.
Boys. All right, kids.
I'd hide a body in my living room.
I think
just put a hat on Dev.
All right. And on that note, until next time, y'all, play some freaking video games. We're out of here. Get me out. Get me out.